The sun began to set on the horizon, painting the vast desert with vibrant shades of orange and purple. Nefertari, a young priestess, sat on a warm stone, her eyes fixed on the transforming sky. The heat of the day still pulsed around her, but she felt a gentle breeze carrying whispers from Atum, the creator god. Since childhood, Nefertari had dreamed of finding Atum's lost children, those who, according to legend, had scattered across the far reaches of the world. She stood up, touching the amulet hanging around her neck, a symbol of her devotion. "If only I could understand what Atum desires from me," she murmured to herself, her voice as light as the desert winds. "What can I do to help?" The answer seemed to float in the air, but the silence of the desert enveloped her like a cloak. She closed her eyes and breathed deeply, trying to connect with the divine energy that always surrounded her. The presence of Atum was palpable, and she knew her mission was greater than merely seeking the lost children. The vision of the future remained hazy, but there was a throbbing force within her. Meanwhile, in the celestial heights, Atum watched his creation with sadness. In his golden abode, surrounded by soft clouds and shining stars, the god was consumed by the pain of loss. "My children, where are you? In what shadows have you hidden?" He closed his eyes, feeling the solitude that permeated his divine essence. With a powerful gesture, he decided it was time to act. "Yujat, my eye, you will be the light that guides them. Go, seek them in the depths of the cosmos." Atum's words echoed like thunder, and in the next instant, Yujat, an ethereal and luminous form, began to materialize. The energy of the universe concentrated around him, and with a majestic motion, Yujat soared into the vastness of space. Meanwhile, Nefertari continued to contemplate the sunset, unaware of the fate unfolding in the higher spheres. A bright glow caught her attention. She lifted her head, admiring the beauty of the sky, but feeling deep inside that something extraordinary was about to happen. "Atum, be with me," she whispered, determined to fulfill her role in the story that was yet to be written. Nefertari awoke from her restless sleep, the memories of her dream still vibrating in her mind. She quickly rose, feeling urgency pulsing through her veins. The dream had been vivid. Atum was calling her, revealing details about her destiny and the importance of her mission. With the god's words echoing in her mind, she hurried to prepare for the ceremony that would celebrate creation and the connection with Atum, an event that brought together all the priests in a sacred space, illuminated by the soft morning light. As Nefertari donned her ceremonial robe, she murmured prayers, seeking protection and wisdom from Atum. The lightweight linen fabric, adorned with sacred symbols, seemed to almost vibrate with divine energy. "May Atum guide me," she whispered, adjusting the gold necklace that represented the eye of Atum. "May I understand my role in this new world." Upon arriving at the temple, the aroma of incense and flowers enveloped her, and the sight of the other priests, all immersed in their practices, filled her with a mix of reverence and responsibility. The grand altar, dedicated to Atum, was adorned with offerings, fruits, flowers, and small statues representing creation. The sound of the priests chanting resonated, and Nefertari felt her heart race. "Are we ready, Nefertari?" asked a familiar voice. It was Anubis, a more experienced priest who had always supported her. "Yes, Anubis. I feel that something grand is about to happen," Nefertari replied, her voice steady, though her heart was restless. As the ceremony began, a blinding light erupted from the altar, and Nefertari, amid the priests chanting, felt a deep connection with Atum. The visions from her dream began to materialize. She saw the image of Yujat, the god's eye, and felt the energy of creation pulsing around her. The atmosphere was charged with anticipation, and a wave of emotion washed over her. "Atum, I am here," she declared, her voice echoing in the temple. "I am ready to fulfill my destiny." At that moment, far away, Yujat returned to Atum's realm, bringing with him the lost children. The reunion was a spectacle of light and emotion. Atum, upon seeing his children finally gathered, allowed tears to stream down his divine face. Each tear that touched the earth transformed into life, giving rise to humans and animals. Creation was underway, and a new era began to unfold under the light of Ra, the sun rising from the eye of Atum. Back at the temple, Nefertari noticed that the light of the altar seemed to dance, reflecting the universe's emotion. "What is happening?" Anubis asked, perplexed. "I feel that something magical is about to be revealed," Nefertari replied, her eyes shining with the determination and hope that filled her heart. She knew that her connection with Atum made her part of something much larger, and the ceremony was just the beginning of her journey. The new eye of Atum, pulsating with energy and light, began to glow intensely in the sky, illuminating the vast desert land. Nefertari, seated on a polished stone, watched the phenomenon with both affection and fear. The feeling of being chosen as the guardian of this new life enveloped her like a sacred mantle. She closed her eyes, allowing the divine energy to flow through her being. "Atum, I am ready," she murmured, her voice soft like a breeze. The response did not come in words, but as a wave of warmth that enveloped her. A deep connection linked her to the Creator God, and she could feel life pulsating around her, eager to sprout from the earth. Meanwhile, in Ameni, Setep watched the rebirth with cold, calculating eyes. He lurked in the shadows, a wicked smile forming on his lips. "This new creation is fragile," he whispered to himself, "and I am the storm that will destroy it." His gaze fixed on the distant glow of the new Eye of Atum, and a malevolent plan began to form in his mind. "Nefertari, you do not understand what is to come," he murmured, as if the priestess could hear his words. "The darkness always finds a way to prevail." Back in the illuminated world, Nefertari felt something deeper within her. A latent power pulsed in harmony with the newly created energies. "What is happening to me?" she whispered, her mind filled with questions. In that moment, a soft voice echoed in her mind, like a whisper on the wind. "Nefertari, you possess the gift of communicating with souls," the voice revealed. "The creatures that sprang from Atum's tear long for your guidance." Nefertari's eyes widened. I can speak to them." The idea both fascinated and terrified her. A burning desire to protect these newborn souls surged in her heart. "Yes," the voice continued. "Use this power to guide them. Darkness lurks, but you are the light that can keep them safe." Determination grew within her like a rising sun. "Then I will do this," declared Nefertari, lifting her head with confidence. "I will protect these souls and fight against any force that threatens the new creation." And so, with the new Eye of Atum shining brightly above, the young priestess prepared for what was to come, aware that her journey was just beginning, filled with challenges and revelations that would shape the destiny of the new world. Nefertari stood surrounded by other priests in the temple, illuminated only by the soft light of torches. The air was heavy with expectation and tension. She felt Atum's presence pulsing around her, a constant reminder of her sacred mission. "We must unite, brothers and sisters," she said, her voice firm and clear, though her heart raced. "Setep cannot be underestimated. He wishes to corrupt the souls our God created with love." The priests nodded, and one of them came, a man with a stern gaze and gray hair, looked directly into Nefertari's eyes. "You are right, Nefertari. The darkness that Setep brings is powerful, but together, with Atum's light, we can resist." As the priests began to chant protection spells, a strange sensation started to envelop Nefertari. It was as if the energy of Atum's was intertwining with her very being. She closed her eyes, feeling visions of the past and future blend in her mind. "I am more than a priestess," she murmured to herself, the revelation hitting her with force. "I am a descendant of Atum." When the ceremony reached its climax, the flames of the torches began to shine intensely, reflecting the light emanating from Nefertari. But suddenly the atmosphere changed. A biting cold invaded the temple, and the shadow of Setep loomed at the entrance. "Ah, the little priestess," he mocked, his voice echoing like a whisper of the wind. "Do you really think you can protect what does not belong to you?" Nefertari opened her eyes, facing the dark figure. You have no power here. Setep, Atum created this world with love, and we will defend it. Setep smiled, a smile devoid of warmth. But I am also a son of Atum, Nefertari. I am what he rejected. You do not know how much I can offer. Join me, and together we can rule this new world. Setep's words echoed, but Nefertari felt her determination growing within her. Just a lost son who does not know his true essence. I will not join you, Setep. Darkness will not prevail. The tension intensified in the temple, and the priests, aware of the danger, united their voices in an even louder hymn, invoking the protection of Atum. The walls seemed to vibrate with the energy of creation, and Nefertari knew that the battle approaching was not just physical, but spiritual. Nefertari faced Setep with determination, her heart pounding with the force of creation that emanated from the eye of Atum. The atmosphere around her was charged with energy, and the golden light seemed to dance in her hands, ready to be channeled. You don't understand, Setep. The darkness you offer is not power, but a prison, she exclaimed, raising her chin in defiance. Setep, on the other hand, smiled sarcastically, the shadow that enveloped him seeming to intensify. You're so bound to this idea of light that you can't see the truth. Join me, Nefertari, and you can shape the world in your image. Together, we could rule with a power that Atum could never comprehend. I don't need your power, Nefertari retorted, her voice firm and full of conviction. True strength comes from the light that flows from within, from the connection we have with all beings that Atum created. And with a determined gesture, she invoked the souls of humans and animals, causing them to manifest around her, like a wave of bright and vibrant light. The souls, a myriad of shapes and colors, began to gather around her, responding to the priestess's call. We are with you, Nefertari, echoed a voice, and soon the chorus of support grew, forming an army of light. Setep, realizing that his seduction plan had failed, prepared to attack. The battle between the forces of light and darkness began, with Nefertari leading the souls in the fight. Flames of light and shadows collided, creating explosions that illuminated the darkness. You can't win, Setep, Nefertari shouted, as a wave of white light erupted from her hands, pushing the darkness back. Creation will always find a way to prevail. Setep, in a last-ditch effort, unleashed a wave of darkness. But Nefertari, with the power of the souls by her side, was able to absorb and redirect the force. Now is the time, she shouted, and the united souls formed a brilliant beam that shot toward Setep. He was forced to retreat, his expression of surprise turning into fury. This isn't over, Nefertari. I will return, he threatened, disappearing into the shadows. With the villain temporarily repelled, Nefertari felt a mix of relief and determination. I can't let him come back, she murmured to herself, as the souls around her enveloped her in a warm embrace of light. She knew that with their help, she was ready to face any challenge that the future might hold. Nefertari took a deep breath, feeling the warm sand beneath her bare feet. Determination pulsed within her like an unquenchable flame. I can't hesitate any longer, she murmured to herself, adjusting the priestess robe that enveloped her. The fate of the new world depended on her and her courage. With her heart racing, she invoked the divine forces that guided her and, in a final gesture of reverence, looked to the sky in search of Atum. May your light illuminate my path, she prayed. As she crossed the portal leading to Ameni, Nefertari was enveloped by a dense darkness, as if the shadows were trying to swallow her essence. But she did not retreat. Setep, I'm here. Come face me. Her voice echoed defiantly through the shadowy realm. As the echoes faded, a cold laugh sliced through the air. Ah, Nefertari, the light of day, is not welcome here. Setep emerged from the shadows, his piercing gaze filled with contempt. You think you can defeat the darkness? I am its very essence. Nefertari felt the weight of the challenge, but the light of Atum burned within her. I am the guardian of creation. You may have power, but I have the light that comes from Atum. Her words reverberated, and the shadows around her began to stir, as if the darkness itself were in doubt. Setep gestured, and at his command, an army of shadows emerged, forming a sea of indistinct and menacing figures. Nefertari raised her hand, feeling the power concentrate in her fingertips. "I will not fight alone," she shouted, invoking the soul she had summoned earlier. Bright lights began to appear around her, forming a protective circle. With a battle cry, Nefertari charged against the shadows. The battle unfolded in a frenetic dance of light and darkness. "You cannot defeat me, Nefertari," Setep shouted as he tried to strike with his darkness. But Nefertari moved with grace and agility, dodging and counterattacking with the light that emanated from her being. At the climax of the confrontation, Nefertari raised her arms to the sky, invoking the Eye of Atum. "Transform Ra." A wave of golden light began to envelop the battlefield, pushing back the darkness and revealing Setep's true form. He was not merely a lost son, but a reflection of the shadows that dwelled in the soul of every being. The light of Ra illuminated every corner of Ameni, causing the shadows to dissipate in a cry of anguish. Setep fell to his knees, powerless before the divine brilliance. "No, this can't be happening," he cried out. "Yes, Setep, the light always prevails over darkness. You will be banished forever." Nefertari made a final gesture, and a beam of light struck Setep, who vanished in a whirlwind of shadows, screaming until the last echo faded away. With victory in hand, Nefertari felt the energy of Ra pulsating around her, bringing hope and renewal. She looked to the sky, where the sun shone brightly. "I am the guardian of humanity," she declared, her voice strong and full of conviction. She was ready to lead her people into a new dawn, where the light of Atum would always illuminate the way.